Jesse, I want to start with Coinbase. We're all expecting it to get out of the gate next week. What will you be watching when it comes to Coinbase's public offering?
Obviously Coinbase is a direct comp for us, so it's very exciting to have finally a public market example and something to point to when thinking about how to value Kraken. Historically, the crypto space has been all private, so we've kind of just got to speculate about how the public markets would value these businesses, and I think it's going to be an indicator for the entire private market, and I think it's going to send valuations of other crypto companies much higher.
Jesse, what are you thinking about in terms of your own IPO? There are some reports out there saying that this could be a possibility as early as next year. What's the plan for yourself?
Yeah, so we're on track to go public next year, probably second half. There's a lot of time between now and then. Anything could happen in the crypto space, so there's no guarantees at the moment, but we're gearing up to be able to do that. We think being in the public market is really great for our clients, who constantly ask us if there's some way they can participate in the upside or the performance of the business. And unfortunately, the rules with the SEC, as they are today, prohibit us really from allowing most of our clients to participate in the upside of the business. So getting to the public markets is really the best way to do that at this time.
So what is gearing up involved? Does that mean you're going to be raising more money before going public?
It's possible. Yeah, we are in discussions now for a round. It's not necessary. We've got a very strong balance sheet. The company's profitable. Raising more capital at this point, I think, would be more about just doing more acquisitions. So, it's something that's out there. I don't know how much more I can say, about that.
So talk to us a little bit about public acceptance. We're watching Bitcoin climb higher. I think last time you were on the show, you said it was going to infinity, the moon, and beyond, but I asked you for a specific number. Since then, we have seen some losses, though, climbing back. What about this? Where do you see Bitcoin by the end of the year?
Yeah, I know it's kind of tough. I think I said Bitcoin's going to infinity, and that's kind of hard to comprehend because I'm measuring it in terms of dollars, and it might be easier to understand it if we measure it, like in terms of Teslas, right? Like now 1 Bitcoin for 1 Model 3, or, probably by the end of the year, I think it'll be 1 Bitcoin per Lambo, and probably by the end of next year, it'll be 1 Bitcoin per Bugatti. So, I think that to me and to the crypto community, I think those kinds of assets make it easier to measure Bitcoin against, because you never know where the dollar is going to be. There could be, 10 times as many US dollars out there a year from now. So it's really hard to measure Bitcoin against the dollar.
Jesse, we're hearing a lot about the cryptos outside of Bitcoin, right? I mean, there's Ethereum getting a lot of interest, Cardano getting a lot of interest. Where do you see those coins being valued at by the end of the year? And are there other areas in crypto that you see your clients gravitating toward as we see other things kind of catch up to where Bitcoin is?
Yeah, so hard to speculate on all these coins. What I can say about Ethereum is that there's a process now to move your coins onto the new Ethereum blockchain that's coming, the proof of stake chain, which is Ethereum 2. And in the process of doing that, you actually burn your Ethereum 1, and that is basically locked up for an indefinite amount of time. It could be years. So that's constraining the supply of Ethereum. I think you're seeing more and more projects on Ethereum. All of the NFT activity is really driving up the use of Ethereum. So hard to predict, but I think we'll probably see north of $2,000 a coin for Ethereum by the end of this year. The other hot coin really is Polkadot, which is sort of the next Ethereum, many people think, where there are a lot of other coins that are being launched on top of this network. And I think you'll see a lot of things that were on Ethereum be ported over to Polkadot for like lower transaction fees.
You mentioned NFTs. There's a lot of people out there that don't know how long this rally can really last around them. What evidence do you have that the kind of NFT boom is here to stay, if any at all?
So there's obviously like a huge market for collectible NFTs right now, and the collectibles business, has been around since the dawn of humanity, right? People have been collecting things. You can look at Etsy or eBay, or people going to garage sales, art collectors. There are all sorts of things out there in the world that people like to collect, and I think NFTs are just one more of those things. There's a lot of really great digital art out there, great artists that are moving to the digital format. So, I think you'll see a lot of the newly rich people in crypto start to collect art, and no one's having anyone over to their houses these days. So the way to show off your collection is online, and it makes sense that that's digital and that NFTs are really taking off right now. But NFTs are useful for other things too, right? Like you can have concert tickets, you can have proof of ownership of anything as an NFT, and I think you'll see more of that, those commercial applications, especially in like the high fashion industry, where you might have Louis Vuitton create an NFT for every bag that's sold, to combat the counterfeit industry there, which would transfer from the factory to the store to the customer when they buy it. And whenever there's a secondary sale of that Louis Vuitton bag, that NFT could go with it, as a proof of authenticity and a chain of custody. So, I think there are tremendous commercial applications for this, and I really think NFTs are here to stay, whatever you think about, the collectibles segment.
Jesse, some of this is happening now, but a lot of our discussions are always about the future. And when it comes to mainstream corporate acceptance, yes, we hear some good news coming from PayPal, coming from Visa, and of course there's Elon Musk and Tesla. But we interview CEO after CEO who says we're not investing in Bitcoin, we're not speculating at the moment. How different do you think the world will be in 5 years? And can you really assure some of these corporate customers that crypto is here to stay and they're missing out?
Well, thanks to Elon, everyone who owns a piece of the S&P 500 now owns a piece of Bitcoin. So, he's probably in a single stroke, distributed Bitcoin to more people than anyone else on the planet. What to say to these guys? I think you can just wait and see. You can sit on the sidelines and wait and see. But, the price is going up. Obviously, you have guys like MicroStrategy, Michael Saylor, who are very bullish on it, who just keep buying as much as they can. I think it's important to have a view on it. You obviously don't just want to jump on the bandwagon and do something because everyone else is. But if you really look into the fundamentals of crypto and the adoption that we've seen and the number of highly respected financial advisors and visionaries who have flipped on Bitcoin and recently come around and said that they now see that Bitcoin is the future, at this point, it's just like, there's so many people that are backing it and supporting it and see it. I think you owe it to yourself to really take a look at the fundamentals and try to understand why that is. And if you're not understanding that, I think you must not understand how the existing financial system works and how much benefit there is to the world for a Bitcoin standard, a Bitcoin as a store of value, and cryptocurrency broadly as a way to disintermediate a huge number of unnecessary and untrustworthy middlemen that exist in the financial services company that in the space that yeah.
Jesse, I'm curious about, you said you may go public next year. Something interesting about Coinbase is that the valuation in private markets is getting us close to some of the biggest banks in the world. What do you think you can be worth as a public company?
Well, it looks like Coinbase is probably worth $100 billion pre-IPO. There'll probably be a pop after that. So, I think any of these crypto companies, I think they really are the future of finance. And we've built the whole stack from custody to settlement to matching to clearing to payments. So we've had to build the whole stack because nothing was there 10 years ago when we got started with this. And I think there's a real threat that the crypto companies can actually, and crypto is the future, can actually just completely replace everything that exists in the traditional system. And most of these guys have not done their work over the last 10 years to make sure that they are current with the crypto technology. And so I think there's a very real risk that over the next 10 years for those legacy businesses that they're just simply replaced. We've seen the tremendous traction that Cash App has had. PayPal, fortunately for them, they've been on the ball. I think you're going to see more of that, and people that aren't keeping up with that, I think their days are numbered. So I do think that these valuations are very reasonable right now, and they can go much higher.